Hi, my name is Chase, and this is my journey to freedom. I was raised in a broken home, going between my mother's house and my father's house, and I was also raised going to church every weekend. I gave my life to the Lord when I was about 8 years old. However, from a young age, I did not live my life like I had given it to the Lord. By the time I was a teenager, I was rebelling and making all of the wrong choices. I was 17 when I had my first child, and just a couple years later, at 19 years old, I had my second. I began living a promiscuous life. This led to more pregnancies and, unfortunately, to abortions. I was still going to church as a teenager and as a young adult, but my life was not consistent with the faith that I professed. I struggled for years, and in 2009, I knew that I needed to get back to my roots and come to know the Lord again. I joined a church, and I quickly got involved in leadership. I began singing on worship teams, but unfortunately, my lifestyle didn't change. But then I met a man in a church, and I thought that would just change everything. He was in leadership, and so I thought that maybe he was my knight in shining armor, and I was wrong. This relationship led to years of abuse and adultery, and eventually it led to abandonment when my husband left me. In 2015, I was desperate. We had had years of poverty, many times where I didn't know where we were going to live. We were without a home on multiple occasions. But thankfully, I had a helping hand reach out, and that was my mother and my stepfather, and they invited me to come live with them in Lake Havasu. I chose to take that kindness and come here and really focus on my relationship with the Lord, focus on my children, and focus on my healing. In 2018, God led me to a man who is now my husband. He is kind, and he makes me feel safe, and he's a provider and a protector, and he's so good to my children. God really blessed me with him. It was in 2021 that I came to Calvary, and then the real healing began. I thought that I was doing good, but actually there was a lot more work left to do. And thanks to Calvary's core value of transparent living, I got to get that work in. I started to allow myself to be held accountable by people, and it was really the grace that I was given that allowed me to do that. I found that the leadership here at Calvary was okay with me being not okay, and they embraced me even though I still had a bit of a mess to clean up. People at Calvary walked beside me as I healed and as I started to dig up those deeply rooted things that I had still kept hidden in my life. My journey to restoration was a long one, but it really started to fast track when I embraced that transparent living, when I started to walk in the freedom that God had for me. Because of the grace that's been extended to me, I've been able to take off the mask that I was wearing and stop just professing that Jesus was my Lord and Savior, but truly start acting like it no matter where I was. If you're wondering if God can redeem you, let my life be a testament that He can. He took a broken and hurting woman living in poverty, living in fear every single day, and being without a home, and He has made me a grateful follower of Jesus Christ who lives authentically no matter where I'm at. I've been able to have a true relationship with Jesus. He's been able to transform my life, and He can transform yours too.